Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to American Government Class. It is Wednesday, September 30th, 2020, and you know what that means. On Wednesdays, we wear pink. Today, we have quite the easy day. 5 things on the to-do list. First, we are going to review the test. Second, we are going to talk about students that were absent. Third, we will do test corrections. Then I'll give you your assignment and your attendance question for today. First things first, let's talk about the test. Review that puppy a little bit. Excellent job, y'all. I thought it might be a little bit hit or miss, but you guys did a wonderful job. We had a whole mixed bag of responses, how you guys responded, how you answered questions. But everybody who responded did a great job of getting me that information. Now, we are going to go over that test today, and you may or may not have done a good job. It's okay, either way. If you did a great job, excellent. If you didn't do as well as you'd like to, that's what number 3 is for. We're going to do test corrections today. But before we get there and learn how to do test corrections, quick note about absent students. Unfortunately, we had some absent students for the test. Those of you that were absent, no big deal. We are giving you a different test. I will email you today the test that you are taking. Going to be a little bit different than the one we review. Can't give you that test now because the answers are already going to be out of the bag. So we'll give you a new version of the test today. Be looking for that in your email. As soon as you get it, get started on it because you only have today to do it. It is due by the end of the night, all right? Midnight tonight for those of you that were absent on Monday. Now, test corrections. I always want to offer the opportunity for test corrections to help you guys build back your grade. It's open to everybody. We'll go over the rules in a quick second, but it's a chance for you to get free points. Who doesn't want free points? Who doesn't want their grade to go up for free? Let's go ahead, take a look at it. I'm going to show you the sheet. I'm going to show you exactly how I want you to do it right now. All right, guys, so before we can learn how to do test corrections, we obviously have to find out what the correct answers were to the test questions. So read along with me. I'll highlight the correct answers for each question. You should have all of these questions on your test. They may just look a little bit different. Number 1, the term sovereignty refers to the D, supreme and absolute power within a state. Number 2, in nations with a parliamentary system, the chief executive, also known as the prime minister, is B, also a member of the legislative branch, parliament. Number 3, according to social contract theory, John Locke, he's the one who we think about with social contract theory, the people are D, all of the above. They are by nature free, equal, independent, voluntarily give up some of their power to the state, and give their consent to be governed. So the correct answer is D. Number 4, according to John Locke, people are born with, correct answer is A, natural rights. Number 5, the system of government that gives all key powers to the national government because there are no state governments is unitary, A, unitary. 6, the government of the United States is a, already said it, B, republic. Let's see, there we go. Number 7, several great 17th and 18th century political thinkers would claim that natural rights include, the correct answer was C, life, liberty, and property. Number 8, the main difference between democratic forms of government and authoritarian governments is that in a democracy, the supreme political authority rests with D, the people. A bunch of us said the president. No, the president doesn't have the power. We vote the president in and out. We have the power. The people have the power in a democracy. Number 9, in the ancient Greek city-states, the citizens all voted directly on laws. Let me say that again. They voted directly on laws. This is an example of A, direct democracy. Number 10, the 4 essential features of a nation-state are, well, the answer is D, population, territory, government, and sovereignty. 11, the 1215 document that made it clear that even a king must obey the law. Of course, the Magna Carta. Number 12, the treasury of Great Britain was depleted or empty in 1763 due to the cost of the French and Indian War. Remember, they lost a lot of money. Number 13, the British Parliament felt justified in taxing the colonists in America because the correct answer was B. It was expensive to keep the British Army in the colonies to defend the colonists. 14, the Quartering Act required colonists to house British soldiers in their homes. Number 15, who wrote the original draft of the Declaration of Independence? Of course, D. Thomas Jefferson. Number 16, according to the Declaration of Independence, governments only exist A. with the consent of the governed. Number 17, the political ideas included in the Declaration of Independence were inspired in large part by the writings of John Locke, of course, natural rights and how a government should be run. Number 18, the longest section of the Declaration of Independence was the list of grievances. That was by far the longest part. 19, which of the following provisions was not included in the English Bill of Rights of 1689? This was a tough one. You had to think about it. All three documents that we studied said, or they all had one thing in common, and that was that the king also had to follow the rules. So certainly, C is the correct answer. It did not say that the king may break the law if it is for the common good. Number 20, the Coercive Acts, known as the Intolerable Acts in the colonies, were passed by Parliament after the Boston Tea Party. Which of the following was not a provision of the Intolerable Acts? B. The British declared war on the colonies. They did not declare war on them. Remember, it was the American colonists who ended up declaring war by breaking up with them with the Declaration of Independence. Number 21, who was the British king at the time of the American Revolution? The big guy, King George III. Number 22, on March 5th, 1770, a mob of colonists in Boston began to harass British troops, taunting them and throwing snowballs. This led to the Boston Massacre. Whoa, how are we going to do this? Here we go. The Boston Massacre. Number 23, the law passed by Parliament in 1765 requiring American colonists to pay a tax on legal documents and printed material. That was, of course, the Stamp Act. Number 24, which of the following statements does not refer to the divine right theory? That would be B, the power of government comes from the people. That is social contract theory. 25, which of the following is not a characteristic of democratic forms of government? The answer was C, elections only when the ruler approves them? No. We have elections no matter what the ruler says. We have majority rule with minority rights, individual rights and freedoms, and of course, rule of law. Number 26, a form of government in which a single person holds unlimited political power is an autocracy. Autocracy is probably how it should be said correctly. We can't seem to highlight it for some reason. There we go. Number 27, the body of fundamental laws setting out the principles, structures, and processes of a government. It's a rule book for government. Well, it's a constitution. We should know that from Constitution Day, but also that was a vocab word from one of our very first classes. Number 28 was also vocab. A charge levied by the government on persons or property. It provides funding for government programs. D, that is a tax. Last two, number 29, a form of government in which a group of religious leaders control the government, also known as government by religion. Yet another vocab word, C, theocracy. Make sure you study those vocab words. Number 30, the final question. The form of government in which the will of the people is expressed through elected representatives is a C, republic. We have a republic here in the United States. We elect people to make laws for us. Here are the correct answers for you guys. I'll go ahead and scroll back up slowly so you can see all the correct answers. You will need to know these for our next step in today's lesson, which is test corrections. All right, folks, now that you have the correct answers to the test questions, let's take a look at how I want you to do your corrections. First of all, let's start right here. You can earn back 1 percentage point for each answer that is corrected. That means if you missed 10 total questions, you can add on 10 percentage points to your grade. For every correction you do, you get a percentage point back. Now, you will get no points if the correction is incorrect, meaning if you still put down the wrong answer, you don't get a correction point for that. The percentage point does not get added to your grade. The corrections must be correct. Number 3, very important, put the question number and letter of correct choice in the left-hand margin. If you look down here to my little makeshift piece of paper, you'll see the little margin, and right here you're going to put the number of the question that you missed. So this person missed question number 6, and the correct answer apparently was B. So make sure that you do that. Put the question number and letter of correct choice in the left-hand margin. Make sure you handwrite the entire question and the entire correct answer. Now, what I mean by that is you're going to take the question and the answer and combine them so that you make it into a statement. You should never ask me a question or put down a question on your test corrections. Simply combine them. For example, number 6, the government of the United States is a republic. It's almost like you're teaching me during test corrections. Number 11, the Magna Carta was the document written in 1215 that made it clear that even a king must obey the law. And number 15, Thomas Jefferson wrote the original draft of the Declaration of Independence. Note that you would not be saying, who wrote the original draft of the Declaration of Independence? D, Thomas Jefferson. Do not do that. Combine them together. Then, underline or highlight the corrected answer portion. That means whatever the answer was that you had a choice to choose from, underline that portion. Right here, Thomas Jefferson, that answer was D. The Magna Carta was also D apparently, so we underlined that. B for number 6 said a republic, so we underlined a republic. Now, skip a line between the corrections. So here's number 6, here's number 11. These were the first 2 that they missed. Skip a line in between them. And the final part is that this opportunity is totally optional. I don't know why you wouldn't want to do it, but it is certainly a way to get free points. Your paper would look like this, all right? What you're going to send me is going to look like this bottom area. Make sure you put your name and your hour, 3A, on here, and do all the test corrections for every single question that you got wrong. And if you have any questions, of course, email me and let me know. All right, guys, there you go. That is how you do test corrections. Make sure you follow every single rule. I'm very picky about you doing test corrections, all right? Now, that leads us into today's assignment and attendance question. We are going to double those bad boys up. Same thing. The attendance question and your assignment will be the same thing. And that, of course, will be to complete your test corrections. That is correct. That is all you have to do for today's assignment. You get free points for today's assignment. You will start the day with a worse grade than you end with. Does that make sense? You will end the day with a better grade than you started with. Just by doing today's assignment, you are guaranteed to raise your grade. They are due today. Make sure you get them into me. That way I'll be able to get you counted for attendance and boost that grade up. Give you that for today's assignment. If you have any questions, as always, I'll be here sitting at the laptop here to help you out. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We will see you on Friday. Take care.